slides chapter 3 or chapter 4. Now it's designing a page layout. This is CSS part 2. So it's the module 3 slides. I think it's actually chapter 4. So the objectives are to create a reset style sheet, explore page layout designs, center a block element, create a floating element, clear a floating layout, prevent container collapse, explore grid-based layout, one sec. So the objectives continued or create a layout grid, format a grid, explore the CSS grid styles, explore positioning styles, work with relative positioning, work with absolute positioning, work with overflow content. So the first part here is page layout with floating elements. So this is like a chocolate website. But it looks like a professional website. So it says page body is horizontally centered within the browser window. Page body, so remember the page body is what will display. It says horizontal list items are floated into separate columns. So I've used a grid before in Android and maybe Java as well. So left and right selections are floated into separate columns. So I think a grid has a bunch of columns and rows, or rows and columns. But it's kind of tricky. The contents of the page footer are floated into separate columns. So you go like column 2, row, or row 5, column 2, and then it puts it in that, like a chessboard almost. But each things are rowed like A5, but instead of A4, well, it could be numbers or letters. Probably numbers in this. So introducing the display style. So HTML elements are classified into block elements, such as paragraphs or headings, inline elements such as emphasized text or inline images. The display style can be defined for any page element using display : space type semicolon. I think that's the format. Where type defines the display type. So it's not saying what it is, it's just showing the format. Now it says introducing the display style continued. So now there's a table here which says some values of the display property. So there's two columns, display value and appearance. So for the first one, display value is block, appearance is displayed as a block. Then the display value is table, appearance is displayed as a web table. Next one says display value inline, displayed inline within a block. Next one says inline block, appearance is treated as a block placed inline within another block. Next one says, or the next display value is run in. Appearance is displayed as a block unless its next sibling is also a block. So next display value, so the same one actually is display value, so run in. I'll just say it again. The appearance is displayed as a block unless the next sibling is also a block, in which case it is displayed inline, essentially combining the two blocks into one. Next display value is inherit. Appearance is inherits the display property of the parent element. Next display value is list item. Appearance is displayed as a list item along with a bullet marker. Last one is display value is none. Appearance is prevented from displaying, removing it from the rendered page. So creating a reset style sheet. Reset style sheet supersedes a browser's default styles. A browser's default style and provides a consistent starting point for page design. The first style rule in the sheet is a display property used to display HTML structural elements. So for example, it says displaying HTML5 structural elements as blocks. It says in a comment structural styles. Then it says article, comma aside, comma fig caption, comma figure, comma footer, header, main, nav, selection, section. So those are without the commas. It says display colon space block semicolon. Not sure what the display is. I think that's what they were telling us, display style. Doesn't say what block is. Okay, so it says displayed as a block. So I'm not exactly sure what it is. So perhaps it's just some kind of display style, so it's the way it looks good. It'll look like a block. Maybe that's what they're saying. So creating a reset style sheet continued. One second, let me just get my, one second. Creating a reset style. Creating a reset style sheet continued. So completing the reset style sheet. So typographic styles. So that's in a comment. Typographic styles. Then it says, so it has all the stuff here. Address, article, aside, block quote, body, site, div, DL, DT, DD, EM, fig caption, figure, footer, H1 to H6, header, so it has H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, header, HTML, IMG, LI, main, nav, OL, P, section, span, UL. Then it opens a block. It says background. So now it says makes, so now there's a block here. So it opens like a code block, like with curly brackets. It says, it points to background, then it says colon, space, transparent, semicolon. So that makes the background color transparent. So this is This is a CSS style sheet. And this is completing the reset style sheet. It says font dash size colon space then 100% semicolon. To 100%. It has an arrow and it says sets the font size equal to the font size of the parent. Sets the font size equal to the font size of the parent. Then it says margin colon space 0 semicolon. Then padding colon space 0 semicolon. And vertical dash align colon space semicolon. No, it says vertical dash align colon space then baseline semicolon. So margin, so back up for a sec, so margin colon space 0 semicolon, padding colon space 0 semicolon. This removes all margin and padding spaces. So for vertical align, it says aligns all content with the baseline. Not sure what the baseline is. It says, so then it closes a block there. It closes the block, the first closing block. Like code block, it closes that. And it says nav space UL. So I think there's a name for the first part. It just doesn't say here. You don't have to write anything, but there it's just called something. Not sure if they told us. Then the next one is nav space UL. Open a code block, like with curly brackets. It says list dash style colon space none semicolon. Then list dash style dash image colon space none semicolon. So I think this refers to the nav unordered list. It sets the list style to none and the list style image to none. Now it says does not display markers for unordered lists within navigation lists. Then it closes that block. It says nav space A opens a block. I'm not sure what A was. They may have, I think they did tell us in the last one. I think A maybe has to do with hyperlinks. So opens a block, then says text dash decoration, colon space none, semicolon. It says does not underline hypertext links within navigation lists. And it closes that block. It says body, then opens another block. It says, so body opens block, then it says line dash height, colon space 1 semicolon. Close the block, so it says single spaces, all body text. It says exploring page layout designs. So page layout designs. Exploring page layout designs. It says web page layouts fall into 3 categories. Did we already do this? I'm not sure. Fixed layout, so size of the page and page elements are fixed, usually using pixels as the unit of measure. Next one is fluid layout. So the width of the page elements are set as a percent of the available screen width. Then it says on the next line, elastic layout. So images and text are always sized in proportion to each other in EM units. The web page layouts fall into 3 categories, so I think those are the 3 categories there. One sec here, sorry, I think someone typed me something, okay. It says exploring page layout designs, continued responsive design. So responsive design, the layout and design of a page changes in response to the device that is rendering it. Okay, so I think that means it's going to adapt to the size of the screen. There it says figure 3.5 fixed layouts versus fluid layouts. So it has 2 screens maybe. So the first one on the left says 1280px. I think it's saying that it's 1280 pixels. They're saying that it's fixed. Then each of the, so the screen is divided into 3 pieces, which are like kind of like boxes or columns. Or, yeah, like pretty much columns. So then it says, so the first one says 256px or pixels. Next box says, or next portion of the screen, which is a column, says 512 pixels. And the next one says 512 pixels. That's the first. So that's the first layout. So it says fixed layouts stay the same size regardless of screen resolution. So I think that, so you've used fixed layouts before in Android, you also use the one where it adapts as well. So the next one is the fluid layout. So instead of pixels, at the top it says 100%. Then it's divided into 3 columns again. So it says 20%. And the second one says, or the second column or portion of the screen says 40%. And then the third column says 40% as well. So it says fluid layouts change with the screen resolution. So I think depending on the screen, it changes. So I think it's, so on 2 different phones it should show the same thing. Or it may look a lot different from a desktop versus a phone. Okay, I can't see how much recording time. Maybe I can take a picture of it. Try to zoom in here. I can't actually see it. I don't think it's done yet, so it says working with width and height. Looks like let me just have some water actually too. So it says the width and height of an element are set using the following properties. So width colon space value semicolon. So I think this is just the format again. And it says height colon space value semicolon. So where value is the width or height. Where value is the width or height using one of the CSS units of measurement. So where value is the width or height using one of the CSS units of measurement or as a percentage of the width or height of the parent element. So working with width and height. Continued. So there's a figure 3-6 here, so it says setting the width of the page body and logo. So it has a comment body styles. So this is, remember, it's a CSS styling sheet. So it says, so it has body and then opens a block. So it says max dash width colon space 960 px semicolon. Then new line min dash width colon space 640 px semicolon. It's a new line that says width colon space 95% semicolon, close the body block. It's telling us that the web page width is 95% of the browser window, ranging from 640 pixels to 960 pixels, so we read it backwards pretty much, or described it backwards. So it says no in a comment body header styles. It says just, so first it says body, I forgot what this was, but I think I explained it in the other notes. So it says body greater than header greater than img, and open a block. Does it mean that it's the headers within the body and the images within the header? Something like that. Then it says display colon space block semicolon. So it says displays the logo image as a block element. Okay, so block means block element. Displays a logo image as a block element. Okay, displays the logo image. Doesn't say anything of a logo image, but it's saying that there is an image here. What are we displaying? So we're displaying an image, I guess. Then it says displays the logo image as a block element. Okay. I guess it's referring to the image in that case. It just says body header styles display as a block. So perhaps just referring that anything that's in that chain there, it's just going to display it as a block, but in this case, maybe it's just the last thing. I think you just have to practice this, and it says sets the width of the logo, or to test it. It just sets the width of the logo to 100% of the page body. And here's the chocolate website again. It says initial view of the body header. So page body width is 95%. Okay, so this, it's telling us everything that we just described here. Body styles and body header styles. This browser window background. It says logo is 100% of the body width. And body background, so it's kind of tricky to describe everything. So I think that's enough time here. 1 sec. Let me just check the time.